Hi, my name is Susan Ogle. I'm President and CEO of Positive Tomorrows. Welcome to the happiest building in Oklahoma City. I like to tell groups that because it is a happy building. In fact, we're very proud of it. It's won several awards nationally just due to the education, design, and the space that we're occupying. So we're very proud of it. We'll be giving you a virtual tour of the building here in just a moment, led by Margaret Creighton, our Executive Vice President. But first of all, what I'd like to do is just tell you how grateful I am for the staff here at Positive Tomorrows. We have teachers who come in every day and work with classrooms of students. We've been having in-person classes since the middle of August. We have case managers who are out in the community working with families and getting them stabilized and in housing and where they need to be. I'm really grateful for our staff, and I know that you are too. And then I also want to thank you. I want to thank the donors. You make it possible for us to do our work. And without that, we wouldn't be here in this beautiful building, and I wouldn't have the wonderful staff that we do here at Positive Tomorrows. So thank you very much. Now I'm going to turn it over to Margaret to give you a tour of our building.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for coming for a virtual visit. My name is Margaret Creighton, and I'm the Executive Vice President here at Positive Tomorrows. Welcome to our brand new school. I am so excited to show you around. Positive Tomorrows is the only elementary school in the state that specifically serves kiddos and families who are experiencing homelessness. So all of our kiddos that are enrolled here are either currently homeless or very recently been homeless. So what that looks like to us on any given day, this brand new school will triple our old capacity. So we used to be able to serve 74 kids. At full capacity, we will be able to serve 210 kids at one time in grades first through 8th grade eventually. Right now, we are pre-K to 6th grade, and we have about 100 kiddos enrollment spots here right now. And for us, they're living in one of three situations. So about half of our kiddos are in a homeless shelter at point of enrollment. So around town, that's our collaborators, City Rescue Mission, Salvation Army's Family Shelter, and then the Domestic Violence Shelter. Which is why we're very careful with our address. But about half of our kiddos are living in a homeless shelter. Of the other half of our kids, half of those, so a quarter of our total kids, are in transitional living, and that's where we want all of them to be moving forward and making steps towards self-sufficiency. They are in their own space, paying rent. Parents are working jobs or working through programs, and they are in their own space doing everything that they need to be doing, eventually getting housing and getting to a more self-sufficient place for their families. Our other quarter of our kiddos are the ones that we worry about at night, even if it's, especially if it's hot or cold outside. They're the ones that we term couch homeless, and that sort of is what it sounds like it is. They bounce around from place to place, and we just never really know where they are from night to night. So if they're lucky, it's a couch of someone that they know. It could be someone that they met at the bus stop. If they have a car, and maybe stay in the car. We have tent families sometimes. It can be a hotel if they can panhandle enough money to stay in a motel. Really anywhere that they can be off the streets with their kids, they will be. That's the most unstable situation to be in, and they're typically moving around a few times a week. So for our friends in those situations, we want to get them out of that unstable situation and into something more stable as quickly as we possibly can, like a shelter program that we're partnering with. For our friends, when they get here, we remove as many of the barriers to their education as we possibly can. So that starts with getting them here. We have buses and vans. We transport kiddos to and from school every single day. And however often that changes, our bus routes change all the time here. So from morning to afternoon, overnight, over the weekend, our bus routes are changing, and we're turning around getting kids to school safely on time every single day. Once they get here, this is our beautiful commute cafeteria. We are feeding kiddos 3 meals a day, hot breakfast, hot lunch, and a big snack in the afternoon. In this room, we do call the family room. You'll notice me hear me say that a lot around the school. It's very family-friendly names. For so many of our friends, they tell us that their first memories of home begin with our school. So we took that and put it into our school. So this is our family room, our cafeteria, where we serve all of their meals every day. And then we provide any basic needs that they have, so clothing and shoes and school supplies. And we'll see some of that here in a little bit. And let me show you some of the amazing rooms off of this big main family room. This behind me is our maker studio, so let me show you a little bit about that. It's one of those spaces where our kiddos don't have to worry about making a mess. Think about the tinkering garage at the Science Museum. They can make stuff out of trash. We have 3D printers back here that you can see. Along the wall, they're working on making really cool objects that the kids have worked on. And one of the really fun features about this room is something that the architect helped us with. So when we were going through the building process, we knew that the adults in the room weren't necessarily the experts in knowing what our kiddos needed to do school every day. So we asked the kids, what do you need to see in a new school? What would be really great to have in a school? So we had the kids make some drawings, and you can see here some of the things that they asked for. So you'll see that they asked for, I'm looking for a few things. Oh yeah, they wanted a Minecraft space, and they wanted R2-D2 to come visit. They wanted big open spaces and a library and a big space for recess outside. They wanted the Thunder to come back and play basketball with them. They wanted bigger classrooms and taller tables. Lockers were very important to the kids. You'll see them here and here. They asked for those. They asked for a tree house here, and some of the things we were able to put into the school, and some of the things were just not possible, like pony rides and lightsaber dueling spaces. But you'll also see some things on here, like one of the kiddos wanted an alarm to call the police in case we needed the police to come help us out. So some interesting things that you see in the wallpaper in this room, but it's a really cool feature of the building that the architect helped us to do. Let me show you our literacy lab here. This is our literacy lab. We've got it full of books. There's no technology in this room. We can take a walk in here, and you can see this curated section of books all in here. We wanted to make sure that our kiddos saw specific books. So we do have an Amazon wish list, and we've had so many donors that have bought books for this space. We're super grateful to have all the books in here. And this is a library where they bring books back. We'll show you another space a little bit later that's a different library for the kiddos. But this is our big, beautiful library with lots of windows for lots of light. And let me show you next our outside space. This is our big, beautiful playgrounds. Our kiddos have a lot more cortisol, that stress hormone, going through their bodies than a typical child does. So we focus a lot on what is research-based solutions to helping them rebuild the pathways in their brain that can be damaged by cortisol. So we're talking about sequential thought patterns. So the arts and physical activity are two research-based ways to help rebuild those pathways. So it's things like learning how to climb up. It takes one step in front of the other, and that can help you rebuild those pathways. So we have a big soccer field outside. We have a walking and biking path, and you can see some tricycles that the kids have been riding on today. A big, huge toy with some shade structure. A climbing wall in the back, an outdoor amphitheater, a gaga pit, and then a specific playground for our toddlers for our early Head Start classroom that will be opening very soon. I'm going to take you over to our gym. If you visited the old school, you know that we didn't have nearly this much space. We went from an 8,000 square foot building to a 42,000 square foot building. And one of the things that we added on that we knew we wanted was a gym. For our kids, again, we just talked about cortisol and the need to be outside and play. Same thing with the gym. So we didn't have an indoor space if it was raining or cold outside or just too hot here in Oklahoma. So now we have a nice big gym. It's a full court. We also use this for assemblies, and we have kiddos in here all the time. Their mentors can come in the gym and play with them. So when we have mentor time, they can be in here as well. This is one of my favorite spaces, super unique to our school. This is our kitchen lab, our food lab. So this is where we help our families to learn how to do nights at home. We also have our kiddos doing things in here. So we have a garden outside. In the summer, we grew zucchini. We made our very own chocolate zucchini muffins that the kids loved. They were very interested to see that green zucchini turn into something that was really yummy. So teaching kiddos about that, about nutrition. A lot of science and math happens in the kitchen lab as well. So we do seasonal activities in here, including Christmas cookies. We did those in December, and any other holidays that come along, we make sure and celebrate those with kiddos too. We also have a big kitchen, something else that we didn't have at the old school. So we have a dishwasher, y'all. We were so excited to have a dishwasher and a garbage disposal. We were serving 74 kids every day and hand washing all the pots and pans that went along with that. We're also now able to use reusable trays, which is huge, and silverware, so we're not throwing away as much stuff. but we can provide healthy meals with choices for the kids. And we're so excited to have this great space. Let me show you our family support area. This is our family support area. This is where our case managers are. So every family has their own case manager that becomes their person that connects them with all the resources that they need for their family to be successful. And we really believe in partnering with our families and not doing things for them so that when they need to make decisions again and need to know how to do things in the future, they've already done it once with someone standing right by their side, and now they can do it on their own and be confident in making the right decisions. So case managers are here, and then we also have a nice big conference room that we can get together with all of the family's advocates and make sure that we're surrounding each family with all the resources that they need to be successful. We also have 3 private counseling rooms, and this is one of them. So this is for individual counseling services, family counseling services, crisis counseling, whatever a kiddo needs. We have counseling on site during the school day. So make sure to take care of those needs for them. This is our entry donation room. If you've been to the old school, you'll remember we had a tiny clothing closet that was just very small and had lots of things all over the sides. So this is our storage area now for in-kind donations. So we're able to keep more than we were before. So we have a backstock now of items, which is fantastic. We also have a washer and dryer in here so that we can make better use of used clothing donations. We have 4 total sets of washers and dryers in the school, which is amazing and super helpful for our kiddos if they come to school and need something washed, which is great. We have a garage door, so if you bring us a large amount of things, they can come right in through here, get stored right where they need to be. This is the section for clothing for our families. So we have mostly new things in this area. We will see some very gently used items. But when I talked about our kiddos needing things for school, this is where they get them. So anybody that needs clothing or shoes or school supplies or backpacks, they can get them in here. So they just need to ask their safe adults to help them to get those things. So we have hygiene products that go home once a month, and then we have clothing for whenever they need it. We also have shoes. I had a little friend my first year that I started working here, and when he came in, he told us his feet hurt. And we said, "All right, buddy, let's take off your shoes and see what's going on." When we measured his foot, he needed 8.5, and he came in wearing a size 5. So for our friends, that goes back to the basics of what we're doing with them, which is meeting the Maslow's hierarchy of school needs. So we're meeting the most basic of things first, making sure that their clothing fits, that they feel clean, that their bellies are full, before we can ever work up the pyramid to having safe adults that you can talk to in your classroom, creating a community and culture of sharing in the school, and finally being able to relax and get that higher thought process of learning. So this is a really important section. We also give them things like socks and underwear. And that's something that if I'm looking at you, I don't know if you have that on. And so sometimes for our kiddos, that can be a luxury. So make sure that everybody has everything that they need to do school. This is our collaboration corridor. So this hallway, long hallway, goes all the way down from family support where we are here, all the way down to our education classroom. So this is a space that if you look at the floor, it looks kind of fun. And it's also a math tool. So you'll see that there's counting. You learn your 5s here. It's also a measurement device. It's 5 feet in between each one of these. So the kids can measure something really long if they're working on it. But it promotes collaboration across the organization. Here are the main restrooms for the kids. So these are kids' restrooms right here. And we have them very specifically. I'm going to turn the lights on over here so that you can make sure you can see that everybody is washing their hands. It's also a little private so that they have some privacy, but also so that we can hear and make sure that we know what's going on in the restrooms and that everybody's safe in the restroom. So it's open, but it's also private, and we can make sure you're washing your hands. This is our family restroom over here. People ask me what's my favorite part of the school, and oddly enough, it's a restroom. But this has a shower in it for our family. So if a kiddo needs a shower or a whole family needs a shower, they can come in here. We've got all the things that they need to take a shower and get ready for their day, getting some of that basic dignity back for them. This is our big, beautiful art and music space. This space, we're in here a ton. Again, with Cortisol, the kiddos are doing art and music multiple times a week, at least twice a week with music and at least once a week with art. Being super creative in here. We have our special education room over here. This is a fairly new classroom for us. For our friends, they don't typically stay around long enough in a school situation to get all the way through the testing that they need to get done to have an IEP written. So for our friends, that's something really powerful that we can send them forward with to their next school. But also having the services here to serve all of our kiddos is really important. This is Famous Clubhouse. So this is a tape library. So unlike the other library that's in our school, anybody can just take a book when they need to take a book and not worry about returning it. So any of our friends that love to read, they love this section of the school because they can take multiple books and not have to worry about it. It's also a very calm place to sit if you maybe are studying over because of what's going on at home or what's going on in the classroom. You can kind of hang out here. It promotes our school culture, which we call high structure, high love. And that is that we have a box of where we expect you to be. So we have high expectations for our kiddos because kids will live up to your expectations, however high or low you set them. So we set really high expectations, and here's what we need you to do. There's creativity within that. So if you need to stand and learn, if you want to sit on the floor because you're a little fidgety, there's some flexibility there. And when you fall outside the box, because we all will at some point, we'll just help you get back up inside the box by meeting you with unending love and support to make sure that you're on task with where you need to be. So that's where the space is right now. And now we're getting to the really fun stuff. So this is the education section. So here you have early childhood and elementary. On the other side, you have older childhood, elementary, and then you have middle school back here. And then this really fun spot is how we integrated a treehouse into the school for the kids. So they asked for a treehouse. We couldn't really make a two-story treehouse work with an elevator they asked for. So this is how we were able to do it safely for the kids. It's a collaboration space, so one or more classrooms can come out here and work together on things. But they've got little stones for their stools here. You often see kiddos reading out here, relaxing out here. Taking a couple of our classrooms. This will be the newest classroom to open here very soon. This is our Planet Start. So this is a collaboration with Sunbeam Family Services, and we will soon have babies here, ages 0 to 3. We will have up to 8 children in this classroom, and we are so excited that we can't wait to have the siblings of our kiddos and other babies that are experiencing homelessness here with us. It's something that floors me every time I say it, but you are most likely in your entire life to be homeless before the age of 1. So this was a really important addition to our school. And we've got tiny potties over here to help with potty training, and that room next door is our pre-K classroom. Taking you across the hall to see our kindergarten classroom. We're just wrapping up for the day, so everybody's getting ready for cleaning up. This is our kindergarten classroom. Our teacher's assistant, Miss Carly, is still here cleaning up from the day. This is kindergarten. So you can see we've got all of our friends right now. We're in COVID time, so we're a little bit more spread out than we typically are. And you'll see these dividers that we have for the classrooms. All of our kiddos are wearing masks right now. In a typical year, we have 20 children in the classroom with a certified teacher and a teacher's aide in every room. Some other features that are really helpful for our friends. We have a touchdown space here in the middle. And it's very helpful during COVID so that teachers and assistants can work together to serve 2 classrooms at a time of 10 kids each. But this is for testing, for small group work, tutoring, behavior observation, nap time sometimes. So whatever the kids need, they can use this space for. We also have a restroom in every room and a water fountain in every room. So when my kids want to get out of something that they're doing that's really hard, they're going to ask me to do one of two things: either use the restroom or get something to eat or drink. So for our kids that are working on something really hard and need to push through, you can just get a drink of water, go to the restroom, and then get back to class. We're saving a lot of time in the hallways. We found that it's one of the best things that we do is put restrooms and water fountains in each classroom. We'll take you out in the hall and show you the cubbies that the kids asked for. So all of our kiddos asked for cubbies, and then if you've been to the old school, you'll remember that sometimes you would see kiddos sitting in their cubbies. So this time, we put seats in their cubbies, and it's never punishment. We don't believe in Canada's punishment here. We don't send kids out in the hall to sit and be punished for something. It's typically because they need a little bit of space, or this is their only space that is their own. So it's sort of like a swamp for them. It's kind of tight and cozy, and they like to sit here and read, or just take a few minutes for themselves. So that's our cubbies. So this is the other side of our kindergarten and first grade classroom. So this I wanted to show you is part of our storm shelter. So these two rooms connected are encased in cement and capped with cement as well, and they have FEMA-rated windows. So this is the storm shelter for the entire elementary section of the school. There is an additional storm shelter for the middle school. This was, of course, living in Oklahoma, one of the most important things that we made sure was in the school. So this is the storm shelter. These are some of our older classrooms. So we have second and third grade and third and fourth grade here as well. We do have combined classrooms to best serve the number of kids that we have, to serve as many kiddos as possible. So we do have some classrooms that are combined grade levels, and these are some of those classrooms. So I'm going to go right over here. These ones have some really fun chairs in them, and these are for our fidgety friends. So these chairs roll really nicely. You can sit on them on the seat or on here as a stool, because we know some of our kiddos need different seating options to be able to learn best. So this is one of our older classrooms. This will eventually be our middle school. So right now, again, we're in COVID times, so we are spread out farther across the school. But this will be for 6th, 7th, and 8th grades eventually. And we'll put a shower restroom here to make sure that our older kids aren't showering with their younger kiddos. There are 3 classrooms that look very similar to the other classrooms that you saw. These are their lockers that they asked for. They did get their lockers, so our friends are super excited to get the lockers, especially since we only have up to 6th grade. I think they're very grown up because they have their lockers. This is our second storm shelter here. So these doors close that we just passed through, as well as these doors over here, and the doors to this classroom. There's a steel door on the inside, and these are restrooms. So there's restrooms inside the storm shelter. And this classroom is our newest added classroom. This is our first grade classroom. We're able to split our kindergarten and first grade into their own room this year, which has been great for developmentally for those kiddos, because there can be such a large gap between kindergarten and first grade. And then this will be our science lab. So we're excited to be able to serve our science lab. We've got a big, beautiful outdoor space here that's attached. So the reason we have so much light and so many windows in the school is to have kids be creative and invite them to participate in things. So that's why you'll see our music space has so much class, inviting kids to come in and participate, as well as the maker studio, the library, and all the other areas. So this is the science lab. The third program we have here at Positive Tomorrows is our extracurricular program. So you saw the education classrooms, you saw the work that the Family Support Department is doing. Extracurricular is after school program every single day that there's school, and then break camps in between. So fall break and winter break and spring break and summer break camp, when the kids are typically out of school, they come for day camp. So they're here during the day, and just like school, they go home to their families at nighttime. But that's a really important part of what we're doing, and giving them a big after school snack in the afternoon and helping them to find those things that they really love, because those are the things that are going to keep them coming to school every day. So you got to find that thing that you're great at and incorporate that into your school day. So I wanted to thank you all for joining us on this virtual tour. I'm so glad you were able to join us, and thank you for supporting our school. We're a nearly $3 million budget, and individuals are the majority of that. So we do get money from United Way, as well as a number of foundations and corporations. But thank you to each of you who have either supported us individually, supported us through a foundation or corporation, had us speak at a rally for United Way, or donated through United Way. We are just so grateful for everyone's support, and we would not have been able to build this building or to serve these kids for since 1989 if we hadn't had your support. So thank you for being here. If you have other questions that you want us to answer, feel free to write in or call us and let us know what questions you have. We'd love to have a conversation with you. If you feel comfortable coming out for a tour, we'd love to have you and show you a little bit more with kiddos in the building, so you can see and meet our friends. But again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And more importantly, thank you for being involved in Positive Tomorrows, and thank you for supporting us.